Precure episode 2. And then for those of you wondering, I'll be watching it from Crunchyroll's website. And I will be starting my reaction in 2, 1, and go. Alright, I'm pumped up for this. Because honestly, I thought the first episode was a masterpiece of an episode. So it's going to be nice to see if Toei can keep up the momentum. Oh, hell yeah. And I kind of like the advantages that are going to come along with there being that's actually looks like a pretty nice place to chill too, because at the very least Manatsu isn't going to have to worry about explaining lore to some of the others at the very least. Hey, nothing wrong with dreaming big though. I mean, she does have to worry about some of the outside stuff, too. Oh, actually, it's not so bad. Although that sounds more like a short-term goal than a longer-term goal, though. But you know what? Everything has a small beginning. I mean, she's just gonna have to get used to youngins because, at least, the people nowadays usually have a short attention span. So if Laura's gonna want to get through to Manatsu, she's gonna have to get to the point a little bit more quickly. I'm just saying. But you know what? That's actually kind of relatable though. Because, especially in the spot that Manatsu's in, she's in a new setting, yeah, she's going to be more taken aback to the new stuff that she's going to have to look forward to, or to say anything that Laura is going to have to say, at least from the get-go. I mean, that could change eventually. And man, everyone's got the dance moves in the opening. I mean, other Precure forms look pretty dang good. Gotta admit, the opening's got some fire choreography right there, especially with like the way Rox and Brie move. Definitely looks super stylistic right there. I wonder when I'm going to introduce the mascot, though. I wonder if this means we're going to get an episode where Nansu and Laura are going to actually butt heads with each other. That sounds like that would actually be a super pleasant watch. If only my teachers back in the day started out with saying, let's have a fun year. They never, at least in the schools I went to, they never said that. Damn, such a loaded answer. I'm surprised the sunlight didn't shine upon her the moment she said that. I mean, I'll do a little clap too. Hey, even... Oh. Okay, at least there she learned that she hogged in a little bit of the attention too much. They're actually like Manatsu's self-awareness there. That also explains all the different stuff in her hair too, considering her fashion background. Really? Didn't even seem that nervous one bit. But I guess it makes sense though. Sometimes the cup someone would try to seem excited on the outside, but on the inside they're really nervous to try to like compensate. Oh hell yeah. First name basis. They could always make one. They can just try to, and not just that. They could always try to like gather some people to join their club, and then they can try to request one. If they have enough people, it should be relatively easy. I say should be. I'm not going to guarantee what would happen. I wouldn't be surprised in this episode if they try to hit up this specific shop because there's way too much setup for that not to happen. And plus, it would give a lot of emotional stakes towards Sango if she has to defend the makeup shop too. Yo, Sango's mother looks pretty young. She looks like she could pass for a sister. Oh, it's actually a cute name. Huh. I can, for some reason, I mean, hey, he has other stuff to do aside from saving and protecting the world a little, but in saying that, I actually do like how Laura's taking things completely seriously. Okay, that feels like it could be potentially dangerous. What the fuck? As a, so for, I mean, why not? I mean, she, alright, at least she apologizes and also actually acknowledges her own mistake. That probably didn't pass her mind. Of course it wouldn't fucking pass her mind. I mean, hey. She might as well explain it. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if. You can tell her hesitation, like with those eyes. She was contemplating whether she should stay there or not. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. I mean, it's better than nothing, though. Hey, finally, actually, I wouldn't mind them expanding at least a little bit of the world of Tropical-Rouge Precure. I'm assuming before the opposition attacked, though. Would that even be a place where no more humans can enter? Because... Ah, yeah. I had a feeling there was going to be a condition. Probably just because... Which is the latest evil? That's got to be it. Either that, or maybe humanity did some atrocities against her and her henchmen, and maybe that's why they're evil. God, man, that's a breathtaking shot right there. Seeing her smile while you see like the full. Nothing wrong with those goals though, but makes sense. But even if she, but even if that's the case, she still qualifies as saving the world, considering that she's the one that gives the girls the ability to transform. So I think Laura still got a lot of responsibility at the very least. At least in my opinion. she has to add like tropical into almost anything. But that's what makes Monatsu so damn lovable, though. Jokes aside, I wonder what would happen if, say, someone were to take a shot every single time Monatsu says tropical. You know what? No, I hope no one does that. They would probably fucking die. But how will it even work, though, unless she can... Unless she can somehow make herself appear as a human temporarily on land. Who would say no to that? I know I wouldn't. And not actually a little bit of characterization from Laura, though. She's not this type. Doesn't matter about cuteness as long as they can get the job done, though. Talk about utterly picky. Song is probably gonna be perfect. Yeah, that face! Oh, man. I mean, hey, she'll have multiple opportunities to talk to Sangha, though, so I don't think Laura should be that worried. At least for now. She sounds like one who got stabbed. I mean, no one ever said school was fun, though. I'm assuming it's motivation when it comes to the meal. Oh, okay. I legitimately thought it was going to be something less materialistic. I didn't think it'd be a legitimate food. Okay. Hey, you know what? I actually like a villain that actually can understand their own capabilities without getting overly ambitious or arrogant. That shit's really not fucking cool. Way bigger interest than, say, healing a Precure. When healing a Precure, the disappointing thing about that series is the villains are so much stronger than the main characters that they wouldn't until the main characters got strong enough to kick their asses. I'm liking how this series is acknowledging straight up that the main opposition, they don't exactly match up to Monatsu pound for pound. But that's something I really appreciate from the series so far. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna blame Laura for being that. Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, she has to really guard. Oh, but no, she really has to guard her shit better. Oh, my. I wonder if the Sentai was in on it, though. She looked like she was utterly shocked. If I were her, I would use the better. I'd be like, Laura is the name of my valuable family heirloom. That's what I would have mentioned. I would have lied to save my ass there. But I'm not going to blame her, though. Monatsu's a really honest person, so I'm not going to blame her for fumbling there a little bit. It happens to the best of us. Oh. Question is, would Laura even fit inside of that thing? Probably because she needs to get close to the Sango in order for it to react. Oh! I mean, they could say that it was just a student cosplaying in a mermaid outfit. They could do that. Yeah, just got the speed of an Olympic athlete. Oh, who could be angry? Well, yeah, and plus it's kind of Manatsu's fault. I love Manatsu and all, but she kind of fucked up there. Yeah, but did she... And I kind of like this too. Well, who? Yeah, I mean, who was it that messed up? It was kind of Manatsu that messed up in dropping the pot. Whoa! What the fuck? Okay, that was absolutely cold. Manatsu could have said that way better. She's saying that now, but bet you there's an attack. She's gonna obviously regret what she said. And plus, is it really Laura's fault? Come on, sweetie. You're at fault too. It's both you and Laura's fault. It's also partially Laura's fault for not taking into consideration the emotions of a young girl. But it's also Manatsu's fault for not taking absolute responsibility from the get-go. But it's realistic though. I mean... Oh shit. Whoa! And that's the self-top I'm talking about. She's probably going to be regretting it now. Okay, for a second it looked like it was about to vaporize them all with its eyes. The thing is, though, Laura's better off just running off and trying to fight Manatsu instead of trying to take on that thing solo. I don't think that's the case, though, because she wouldn't have risked herself in the previous episode to help out Manatsu. It's just that Manatsu's saying that as a coping mechanism because she doesn't want to feel the guilt. But she's feeling the guilt, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can try to ignore your guilty conscience, but when it's going at you, sometimes you just gotta kiss and make up. And you know, I actually like how the conflict between Manatsu and Laura is pretty realistic because... But how are they going to have the means of fighting, though? Dang it, she's going to... Oh, so they can actually take it away from Laura, too? Oh boy. Finally! I was wondering when she was gonna finally patch things up. Alright, good shit. Hell yeah! It's best she patch things up than forget or regret things, you know? And I finally like how you get some character development for Manatsu. And let me explain why I think it's substantial. Because, for one, anyone that gets an instant amount of power, they're not going to be straight up, oh yes, I want to save the world. No, no one's going to be like that. A lot of people are going to be like, why the fuck do I have to do it? So I kind of like how with Manatsu, it took her at least a bit to accept that. And two, I actually felt Laura's perspective was realistic too, because realistically speaking, she doesn't seem like she's interacted with a lot of kids, so she's not gonna really understand them. Like a lot of adults that don't really interact with kids a lot, they're gonna have a tough time empathizing with them. They're gonna have a tougher time looking at things from their perspective. So that's why actually liking the way they handled Manansu and Laura's conflict. And after a bit of arguing, they finally patched things up. That's why I felt it handled things really well. Whoa! The animation still looks good. Damn! And even like they're not even utilizing speed lines. Jeez! And while yes, the choreography in this episode isn't as safe pursuing as episode 1, it still looks good, and you can chalk it up as Manatsu being much more experienced with utilizing her own abilities. I always love that sparkly effect with her heart rogue rod. Yo, that thing feels like it would probably have burned with tens of thousands of degrees of pain. What the way that thing looks. Fuck yeah. I mean, hey, he wasn't feeling it from the get-go. I'm not gonna blame him straight up either for that. Aww. Oh, that's the type of warm wholesomeness I love. And you can tell Laura softening up a bit too. Oh, wait, is it the ED already? Alright, I'll dance Manatsu-sama. Pretty cute. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. I'm only dancing because Manatsu-sama told me to dance. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. Because Manatsu-sama told me so. And I have to do it now. Alright. You know, I'm not even gonna give my overview until I'm done with the dance, because since this is like the first time I legitimately try to do the dance from start to finish, I'm trying to stay focused. Okay, I don't have a rod, so I'll just use this fucking cell phone. Yeah. You know what? Next time I'll probably do the direction standing up so that I can actually show off my whole body dancing too. Fuck it. I might actually do that. Why would I do that? I don't know. I just feel like I should. Hey, you know, it's with a bit of practice, I could probably master this dance. Yeah. If you're wondering why I have the headphones disconnected, it's because I don't want the sound to get out, and I don't want to risk a potential copyright strike. That's why. Alright. Now, let me react to the preview. Oh, let's hope they show some of this transformation in the preview. Yes! Alright! Fuck yeah! Good shit. Okay. I dig this. I definitely dig this. Alright. Here's what I'm going to rate this episode overall. I'm actually going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Because even though, yes, while it wasn't as, say, pretty as, say, some of the content that episode 1 had, it still looked really damn good. And on top of that, I actually like a little bit of the world building we're getting, at least when it comes from the region that Laura actually comes from. I'm liking how we finally learned that At least from the place where she comes from, it's relatively a small region. And in addition to that, I love how it finally explains at least our background to Monatsu finally. So at least Monatsu has an idea of what Laura's fighting for. And not just that, but she learns further what's at stake, what she has to do. I like how this episode lays all that out fairly neatly. And in addition to that, I do like how this episode also explains the qualifications of what it takes to be a Precure, because it ain't just all about being strong. You also got to have the looks too. And when they mention that, I'm like, well, you know what? It makes sense that would actually be the case. Because considering they are Precures, it makes sense that the person would have to have at least a specific look in order to pull it off. Well, yes, I guess if you could argue the message that it's giving towards maybe younger viewers could be that if you don't look a certain way, you won't be able to pull it off. I'd say you could potentially make that argument for the series, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because at least of the girls that have become Precure so far, they've, at least in this series, well, I guess it's only just Monatsu technically, she kind of does have a kind-hearted heart. So as long as they emphasize the whole elements of, yes, you need a certain look, but at the same time, if they also emphasize that to be a Precure, you need to have like the right personality and mindset, I think the series could avoid some potential pitfalls. I'm just saying that the type of messaging could be an issue. Not for me, but for, I'd say, some of the younger viewers, if they watch the episode, they're like, oh man, I don't look super pretty. How am I going to be able to do much? So I hope Toei keeps that in mind when they do write the script, you know? So that's the only thing from story standpoint that isn't bugging me, but it could bug other viewers though. That's what I have to mention. I can't just ignore that straight up. Now, aside from that, I actually liked the humor. It was actually pretty damn freaking strong. A lot of the jokes that I felt it tried to land actually hit me. Especially when you had Monatsu do some hilarious things like forget the pot. The arguments between Monatsu and Laura. They all felt natural because it's, I mean, in a way it's pretty relatable because when you're growing up, yeah, sometimes you're not going to want to do the things that, say, some of the older folk want you to do. Sometimes you're going to want to do things your way, done on your terms. And that's what I like, because this series is showing you that you need compromise sometimes. You can't just do everything in your own terms. Sometimes you just need to step into another person's shoes. So that's why I thought the script was good. And the characterization was really great. It was nice to get to see that when it comes to Laura, even though, yeah, she's a little bit rough, she means well at the very least. Because at least in this episode when the enemies showed up, Laura didn't show off any cowardly traits one bit, and she was constantly trying to find Precures instead of just trying to, say, run super far away and then try to find Precures. I actually like that. It shows you, stuff like that shows you Laura's gutsiness when you see those type of subtle nuances. And additionally to that, something that I also really loved about this episode too, I do love the fact that for this one, you also get to see just the fact that when it comes to Monatsu, yeah, she's got some moments where she's selfish. Yeah, she does rise it up to the occasion when it comes to saving people when she needs to save them. But there are times where she just doesn't want to think about that. She wants to think about doing what she enjoys. She wants to have fun. Pretty much like any girl her age. And that's what makes her feel realistic. That she's not just all a badass each and every moment. There are times where she acts like a legitimately selfish kid. And I like that because there are some kids in Monatsu's age that got their selfish streaks. And that's what I like too. I think it makes the characters in this series feel much more realistic. That's why I love what they did with Monatsu and Laura, because it made the moment where they actually got together, especially when Monatsu realized how valuable her relationship with Laura is. It only made it much more gratifying because, let's say people were to have a relationship with like zero arguments and everything would be agreed upon, it would feel boring if a relationship was like that. Thankfully, though, the relationships here don't feel boring because the series has enough spice to where it's like, okay, I can actually really dig where this is going. And yeah, that's what I thought the characterization, the character development was well done. Naturally, I really loved the animation and art quality too. Especially some of the stuff they had. Like when you had a main girl actually moving her arms like this, it looked gorgeous. Like you can definitely tell Toei. Even if it's the second episode, they still try their best. And it's more impressive because Tropical-Rouge Precure is a long-running series. So it actually makes it even harder for them to pull it off, yet they're somehow doing it. So I love how in this series you're seeing them, the animators, they really work overtime. And another thing I also love too about the visuals. The fight scenes still look good because when they were in the clouds, Toei could have easily used like blue, white speed lines to portray speed. Because they did that a lot in Healing Good Pretty Cure. And that wasn't really lost on me when Healing Good Pretty Cure did that. This series, no. They're not taking that lazy route. They're actually making sure that when Minato's moving super fast in the clouds, they actually show movement of the clouds. They actually see her react to every individual attack. I love how when she hits the enemy, like you see the enemy's skin move and contract in the direction where the enemy was punched. It looks beautiful. Like honestly, I didn't see this kind of effort in Healing Good Pretty Cure, but now I'm seeing it here, and I gotta give Toei praise for that. I'm like, damn, because this and Dragon Quest shows like when Toei gives a fuck, they can actually make something look amazing, and when they don't give a fuck, you got mediocrity like Digimon 2020 or Healing Good Pretty Cure when it comes from a visual standpoint, and that's why I gotta give praise to the visuals because I gotta show y'all, like when Toei messes up. Y'all know I call them out, but when they do a good job, I give them praise, you know? And this time, I'm giving them praise because they deserve it. And naturally, the voice actresses in this episode were absolutely amazing. Zero disappointment there. They didn't disappoint one bit. They actually exceeded my expectations. And the music I thought was actually pretty darn beautiful. At least for me. And that's why if I had to rate this episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, I gotta give it an 8.5 out of 10. I can't rate it anything less. And hell, I love the opening theme so much. I listened to that like literally right before watching the episode because I love the opening theme so much too. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I would actually really love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe if you do not want to miss my Tropical-Rouge Precure Episode 3 reaction, because I'm definitely going to be reacting to that. And yeah, hope you all subscribe, or rate it, or comment, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. And I hope y'all have a tropical and awesome day, everyone. Bye-bye.